Okay, parents, we start today's afternoon session. So our topic is about mainly about benefit and challenges of adapting to a hybrid homeschooling of Wilka. But before that, we can um, review some other things that we can assess ourselves if we are ready to go into this homeschooling program if given the chance to when we have this option for our children. Okay. So the purpose of today's meeting is to introduce
Yes,
Wilca's
yes, yes.
educational services, at the same time how we can add value to our parents in giving you awareness how is homeschooling or
影
homeschooling
像
is offering. Is it okay? You mute yourself if I'm talking so I don't have to exert effort. Yeah, yes. Okay, maybe I introduce myself to you so that you get to know who I am because some of our attendees are not from Wilka community. So as an as your school principal, I'm also an inspirational education consultant where my vision is to develop Christ-like, courageous, competent parent educator. So my goal is to in whatever means I can to add value to parents educator to be encouraged and walk with each other hand in hand in helping our children and train them up in the way they should go. So my background is I have been in academe for 25 years. At age 18, I already started teaching back in my alma mater in Cebu, and I've been a pastor's wife or minister's wife for 18 years already. And I have two children. One is 16 years old. She's diagnosed with, she's intellectually challenged and with some associated um, diagnosis that she has oppositional defiant disorder and anxiety disorder where she has anxiety falling asleep because she has that fear, that kind of trauma when going to sleep. Parang she doesn't have that, parang I don't know how do you call that, but she has that anxiety disorder in falling asleep. And my son, 14 years old, she is, I believe she's gifted in a way because at a very young age he is already very advanced in to, compared to his age group, and he is also diagnosed with ADHD. With that, as a parent, I can empathize with those who have special kids as well. And even without kids which are not diagnosed, I can empathize with you because of my years of experience. So our discussion today is not new to me because I tried also homeschooling my daughter early in her earlier years in her preschool, and then I also tried regular schooling. So my credibility or authority to speak in this area is that I finished my PhD in educational leadership and management, specialized in leadership and management, master's in education also, major in teaching English as second language, and I took some seminary theological studies in Singapore Bible College in intercultural studies. And then because I'm a mom with special kids, I also took some units and seminars in how to equip myself to understand kids with special needs. And lately, I studied the MNRI, neurosensory reflex integration, when I have the opportunity to study in US for 4 months. Yeah, so praise God for that. So hopefully I can help many parents to become passionate in their role, no? Because I myself is also not perfect. As a mom, I'm also learning a lot through my children. So more about myself. So let's move on to our how well, who is Wilka? Some of you is not familiar of our school, so I would like to show a short video that will introduce our school to you. Wisdom Light Christian Academy was interviewed by Chinatown TV 2 years ago. Yes, this was still in our old venue in 35 Apo Street. Can you hear right? This is just
According
less
to
than
both
3
the
minutes.
experts, developing one's character and discovering your God-given gifts, plus a good and quality education can propel good kids into early success. This morning, we visit Wisdom Life Christian Academy and see it for ourselves. Can this be possibly attained in just one institution? Let's see.
我们2001年6月开始有一群爱主的主内兄姐，然后我和蔡波兰主任，我们共同筹办这所学校。
Hi guys, we're here with Mrs. Mary Catherine Juan, and she's the principal of Wisdom Life Christian Academy. Hi Kathy, how are you?
Hello.
How are you? Kathy, would you please tell us about this school?
This school is a school where it's like a family because I used to be a parent before I became a school principal. And in a nutshell, it's a place like home.
我们非常重视品德培养，为提高学生的竞争力，我们学校发展各种内外的活动。慧光基督学院获得全非珠算比赛甲组的第1名跟第3名，然后乙组的第1名跟第3名。慧光学院的目标是在通过优良的基督教义，以培养对神敬畏的领袖。那我们的使命是为来自不同文化的学生服务，以准备他们有基督的道德教义，比较有圣洁和全球性的竞争力。Come visit us and enroll your children at Wisdom Life Christian Academy. 我们将继续扩充，最近会迁移到 B Florentino， 会新建更多的教室、办公室、篮球场，还有宽大的礼堂，以提供更好的设备。
Thank you for wonderful interview with Chinatown TV. How are you, my dear parents, as a parent educator? Right now, we are 24/7 lockdown with our children at home. According to Andy Smithson, the sign of great parenting is not the child's behavior. The sign of truly great parenting is the parent's behavior. So how are we? Our last May 1, we have our session on how to become an effective parent educator. So just a recap, are we intentional? Do we set goals for our kids? Are you mindful? Are we present for our children? Do we also practice like how we self-care for our own needs so that we will be able to give best of ourselves to our kids, right? Are we joyful? Do we take each moment with our kids where we maximize it? Like not so seriously, but enjoying the time we have with them. So I have this series of questions that I will be asking you. Try to evaluate yourself. Whether are you ready or are we able to embrace homeschooling as part of our lifestyle right now during this enhanced community quarantine. Children learn more from what you are than what you teach. Agree? Parents, can you show me your okay sign when I see you agreeing with me? Because I like to be interactive. So, awareness. So, are we Christ-like, competent, consistent, calm, and courageous. Let's evaluate. Are we stable emotionally to handle the stress that goes with the demands and preparation of homeschooling our children? You assess. Are we willing to be firm and go through tough encounter with our child so that they will submit and obey us? Will we be able to exercise self-control when you will be shouted at sometimes? When they throw tantrums, disobeyed, questioned by our children because sometimes we are also inadequate, imperfect, and inconsistent. Children are great imitators. So let's give them something great to imitate. Many things are caught rather than taught. So that's the cliche that usually shared by educators to all to the children, right? They see us more than yeah, they learn more in what they see than what they hear us teach them. So are we able to empathize when our children like get angry like that? Let do we Sometimes I'm distracted with admitting people, sorry. Anyway, let's assess also, are we willing to sacrifice and let go of some of our commitments so that we can focus on our child's education and building strong family relationships? Honestly, for parents like me, I'm like a working mom, and I also help in the ministry in church. Are we willing to let go some of our commitments? This is a very important question because when we be involved in our children's life, time is of the essence as well. We need time to be with our kids because love is felt time for children. Are we able to balance our time and stick to our routine of homeschooling our children until they become independent learner and responsible? I'm sharing not because I'm already perfect in this area, but rather how we hold each other's hand and help each other. So empathy is very important in how we relate to our kids, putting ourselves in the shoes of our kids. Sometimes they misbehave, it's because there are unmet needs. So instead of putting our own agenda of controlling or getting our authority, but rather let's also have that listening ear and understanding heart to our kids. Why are they acting like that? So sometimes we have to listen more. So right now, let's move on to our topic, which is benefit of homeschooling. After evaluating ourselves, how we self-awareness, assessment, and what our action needs to be done, let's see if we would like to embrace this new normal that we can also do at home, especially right now. Determine the curriculum and our children's schooling schedule. Create a flexible schedule not possible for children enrolled in public and private school. Yes, you have the control. If your child wake up at that is now waking up early, so you can start 10 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. So it's up to you. Make sure that you have this set schedule for their morning routine and their evening routine. I made this by myself for my daughter because, um, actually, we really need consistency when we follow through these routines for our children. Doesn't mean homeschooling no structure. As much as possible, we also provide structure for them. So benefits of homeschooling is that we create strong bonds with our children, enjoy spending more time with them, adapting teaching method best suited for our children. So as parents, since you are hands-on with your child, so you get to know the learning styles of your kids, how they learn best. But as much as possible in my master's thesis, 70% of learner are visual. So as much as possible when we teach, we let them see. not only see, we can also say it so that they can also hear auditorily, and let them act it out so that they are involved also kinesthetically. So as much as possible, involve all the learning styles that uh, we can, so that our children will have maximum learning. Next, extra time with our children on difficult concept to move ahead after, or advancing when our kids are, this is what happened with my son. He's quite advanced, so he has been, before it's allowed to accelerate or recalibrate our children, but right now DepEd is very strict with the age of our kids. They cannot accelerate for the next level if their age doesn't reach at that age. So my son is already grade 9, but he is still 14. But thankfully, even though he's the youngest in his batch, he's still like sometimes second honor, first honor, even without my guidance. So I'm thankful with in that area. So to God be the glory. It's not like bragging, but I'm just sharing. Okay, provides religious, and we can provide more on this area because we are involved, right? So we don't rely the church or Christian school to provide spiritual truth or Christian education to our kids. Let's also be aware that cyberbullying is very real. That's why we need to also be very careful, no? How to protect our children from bullying in school, with because there are negative behavior from other children. So that's why parents, we need to be very prayerful. 24, we cannot be with our children 24/7, but right now we are with them. But if they go back to school, or we opt to uh, use hybrid homeschooling program for our kids or pure homeschooling, let's shelter them, because even they're at home, they're also exposed to some research or do using their gadget. Because right now, their generation, we cannot help but kids are exposed to Wi-Fi that they can connect to anyone. So cyberbullying, we shelter them from that by faith. We cannot shelter them actually 24/7. So we need God's intervention. Let's be prayerful. Provide our children with personal interaction. These are also benefits that large classroom are not able to provide because you're more one-on-one. Extra time helping our kids develop their talents, their strength. So that's the benefit of homeschooling. Assist our kids during adolescence or other trying times. Discuss controversial topics at our discretion with our children. So actually, magic moment doesn't happen like instantly. Oh, let's talk, kids, let's talk. It's not like that. Sometimes just being there, and then they, if they are ready to open and you are there, that's perfect. So homeschool parents have more magic moments, opportunity to know, and when their children is willing to share what's in their hearts, their struggles. So benefit of homeschooling also draw us closer to our spouse as we homeschool our children together, because of course we share each other concern, like, you know, our daughter, our son is struggling in this area, we share. But that doesn't mean that when we put them in a school setting, we cannot do this. Actually, it's how you balance your time and how you know yourself, what is best for your kids situation. Because for my son, of course, younger days, like 2 years old, 3 years old, I teach him how to read like that. He enjoyed being homeschooled by me. But when I started to bring him to school, you know, he enjoys being with his classmates. So right now, when I ask him, "Do you want to be homeschooled?" "No, Mama, I want to be with my classmate. I want to go to school." So depends. So that's why we are discussing, so you can weigh for yourself, see for yourself what's best for your children. You can take your children for vacation even during when school is still ongoing, to the in the public or private sector. So you have your own time. My husband loves to bring us to road trip. So many times when we travel, he drives us in many provinces. Like in this area, we go to Boracay. Anyway, just sharing my life with you also. So after the benefit, we can learn that to be in your child's memories tomorrow, you have to be in their lives today. Agree? According to Barbara Johnson, and I really agree very well with that. That to be in your child's memories tomorrow, you have to be in their lives today. At the end of the day, the most overwhelming, it's covered. The success of child success depends greatly on the involvement of parents. So let's be hands-on and involved, not just leave it to the school, because the first teacher of the kid of our children is as parents. That's why my advocacy is that we parents are the best educator that our children could ever have. So be around. The potential challenges of homeschooling is that being around with our children all day long, this can be difficult when children becomes restless and misbehave. That's why when I gave you question earlier, I'm asking you, are we emotionally stable to handle this kind of stress when we are at home and our children are already in chaos? The best way is to be mindful. We try to inhale. Inhale with me, parents, ha? Inhale, exhale, like that. Practice that. That helps a lot. And then pause, pray, and when you need it, rest, sleep. Take care of yourself also so we can take care of our children, because in the airplane when there's emergency, put your mask first before you put your child's mask. So take care of ourselves so we can take care of our loved ones. And next, restrain anger. Remain patient when children struggle with their learning difficulties of moving at a slower pace than the school. So actually, not only when we are homeschooling, it's a challenge for all of us in whatever situation we have to be self-controlled. That's why we have to practice that fruit of the spirit, that we will be self-controlled. That's the fruit of the spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Yeah, that's very important characteristic when we homeschool our kids. The challenge also of spending more time to be with their playmates of the same age group. Because when you homeschool, sometimes the limitation of some socialization with her age group of our child. So, but this can be addressed when you bring them to church. But right now, church and school is not yet allowed to open. Anyway, but this is the struggle of homeschooling. But for Wilka, since we will be opening our hybrid homeschooling or pure homeschooling as an option for our parents to enroll, if you will not, if having daily face-to-face classroom interaction is for you, like you see it, you still have hesitation to for your child to go daily to school after this lockdown, if this will be lifted up, um, we will provide a monthly support group for parents who are homeschooling, and it's also open for our regular parents to join in, and for our children to socialize monthly. And we have, yeah, Sunday school, chapel time for your child to join. Then large amount of money on books. That's the challenge. Maybe because you cannot have access with the school library because you're homeschooling your kids. Anyway, parents, I want it to be interactive. So if you have questions, you can unmute yourself and ask questions. Okay? So when you have some struggles, then we provide monthly seminar. I already said that earlier, to solve some difficult problem that homeschool parents are facing during this. And our teachers, we have coordinator for homeschooling who will address your needs as well. If you have question, you can set appointment from the school. So another challenge is that we need to be constantly adapting how to become an effective parent educator when we're homeschooling our kids, and how we constantly motivate our children to enjoy schooling, right? So let's be reminded, the Bible tells us that train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So let's not give up. Just one plant seed, just do our best. As I said in the previous session, just three tasks every day. Just have three goals that you want to accomplish with your child every day. Like you want them to finish a certain subject, activity. Like for example, today my daughter study about hygiene, and then about time again. Very important that she knows how to tell time. And then thirdly is, what did she do? And also some Q words, something like that, that starts with letter Q, mga vocabulary. And for my son, I always make sure every day I just have a session with, since he is very, I mentioned earlier, his strength is he's quite articulative, or he can just express what he wants to say. So I want it to put to good use. So I enroll him in a master's class program of using your voice to inspire people. So every day we listen to the speaker, and then there is question and answer. Then I intentionally talk to him, because if we don't do some intentional uh, talk with our kids, tendency we just neglect and let the day pass without anything done. So that's all for our topic. So let me introduce our school. Next school year, ongoing enrollment is ongoing. Anytime you can do online enrollment for this, from preschool to grade 6. So for the first quarter, we offer, our time is running. We have 10 minutes left. Anyway, I make it concise. Um, so we offer online or distant learning for the first quarter. Our school will start by August 3. So, wait, huh? So I will also invite you every Sunday for our online chapel. So every 5 p.m. So our orientation will be on July 18, 10 a.m. That's a Saturday. That's the Zoom link and password. Please screenshot it or write down. And opening of classes will be on August 3. Though Undersecretary Dr. Briones mentioned that DepEd opens August 24, but it's okay. We start August 3 because it's okay. We, as recognized private school by DepEd, we can open anytime we decide when we will open our class. Then, this is our online summer program. We offer it 3 days trial for free. So after that, if you want to continue, you have to make some online payments and deposit it in our China Bank branch. Account number is flashed on your screen. And please take note of that also, 142140517, and email your deposit slip or confirmation of your payments in Welka email address wlca01@yahoo.com. So this is very important. For those who make reservation for next school year, you get 10% discount on all the summer offering. Since our summer offering has a lot of subjects, so if you enroll in one program, you get 10% discount, right? If you have made some reservation. If you have 2 programs enrolled for our summer, you get one more subject free. So you have 3 sessions. If you opt to enroll for the 3 subject in our summer program, 1 session free. So you have 4, less 500 peso. Okay, so you can screenshot this part also and look at your budget, if how you want your child to transition, that during their summer they're still productive. At the same time, after their online session with our teachers, you can digest and go whatever you want with your child. Homeschooling is not just academic, it's also like life, living life together. So we are DepEd recognized school. So rest assured, we provide quality education, the competency that DepEd requires for us to deliver, and we here in Wisdom Light we offer more than what DepEd requires. So praise God for last year, December 2019, in social media survey. I don't know how they did their survey, because for us, we just do what we do. And then suddenly we just heard that Wilka is one of the top 10 Chinese school all over the Philippines. So praise God for that. Can I see your hands clapping? To God be the glory. So please help Wilka promote it to your friends, relatives, if they have kids from preschool to grade 6 that they can avail of our service. Please do so. I think my sharing ends there. Do you have any question, parents? No question? Yes. Hanson, you can unmute yourself.
Um, you were talking, good afternoon, Principal. You were talking about the hybrid homeschooling. May I know, because for my understanding of hybrid, it means a combination of something. It's
Yes,
not a pure homeschooling.
correct.
So may I know the extent of the hybrid? Um, uh, I
Okay,
mean, what other combination is there for the pure to differentiate it from pure homeschooling?
yes. For our discussion, initial discussion, everything still under collaboration with our among our teachers and admin. We do hybrid homeschooling, like we allow the kids to come to school twice or once a week, and they join all our school extracurricular activities, reading, math, uh, all the programs that we provide, the Linggo ng Wika, UN, all these practices, they have to come and join and take their exam, quarterly exam in school. All other quizzes will be done by the parents. But when they are in school, they join whatever that their classmates are doing. When within that week, they come twice a week or once a week. That's required for our hybrid homeschooling. For pure homeschooling, everything done at home except the quarterly assessment, they will do it in school. Mm.
So our school opening is August 3. So when we start with August 3, that's
No hybrid homeschooling, no pure homeschooling yet, because we will do all distant learning, online teaching. So we only offer the option for hybrid homeschooling or pure homeschooling when the lockdown will be lifted up and we will be allowed to meet face to face. So that would be maybe second quarter, November onwards or January onwards.
okay.
So some parents may have temptation to bring their kids every day to school. So we give you option, parents, to choose hybrid or pure homeschooling.
Okay. So the August 3, when we start with the August 3, it's still distant learning, no going to school yet.
No going to school. Yes. Everyone
Okay.
is in the online platform of learning experience teaching. Yeah. Just like the summer. So summer program with your kids is a good transition towards our new school year, where they will be having that kind of platform in the first quarter.
Now during the summer program, there is the SPED at home. So the teacher goes to the student's home. Is
By
that
the
the
way,
way?
I have to clarify with that, because as long as there is ECQ, we don't allow our teacher to go to the house of the parents. We will only
Okay.
have that offered when the ECQ is lifted up during, like, after May 15th. We never know what the announcement of the government. Then if they announce that it's safe to meet but with social distancing or something like that. So we will keep you posted. That will not allowed that our teacher will go to the house of the parents with special needs. So for now, maybe special kids can do one-on-one with the teacher online, because we also want to protect the safety of our teachers. because they have to travel. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying with that.
Okay.
Any other question? I only have 1 minute and less than 2 minutes. So may I prepare something with my daughter in tribute to our parents educator, just to encourage you. So allow me to share this to you. Okay? Enjoy this one. Actually, the closing ceremony this morning, they sang this song in tribute to our frontliner. But for me, we want to tribute to the parents educator. If you have your children with you, let them watch this and dance along because this is their song during the closing ceremony. Can we read it together? I am the best parent educator